Hello and welcome to another session on advertising. Before we start, let me introduce the expert Simrat Gulati, who has prepared this lesson today and who has many years of experience in advertising and has been teaching this subject for 23 years. And I am Shivangi Anand. We see that advertising is the communication about a brand, product or service. It is done to promote, create awareness or inform about it all. To achieve this, the complete strategy and structure is planned out. This is what is the advertising plan. Thus, an advertising plan consists of advertising objective, segmentation and target audience, message strategy, media strategy. In one of our previous lessons, we have looked at the concept of advertising objectives and the process of arriving at them. Our focus in today's lesson is on the message strategy, or how the advertising message is planned and designed across all the mass media available. To get started on this, we first need to understand how any communication or message works on the human mind or the persuasion process. Advertising and its effects. How advertising works. An important aspect of planning out the ad concerns the models of the processing, the information or the message. The strategy and appeals give form to the ad, but it is this simple model of the effect of the communication which decides the structure of the ad. We will look at the hierarchy of effects model. The human mind follows a typical sequence to process any message or ad. The message is designed keeping the communication models in mind. The AIDCA model for catching the attention and creating interest and desire and finally achieving conviction, and action is the framework for structuring the ad. This is usually referred to as the AIDA model, where the desire and conviction are clubbed together as they happen simultaneously. We design the ad in such a way that every element in the ad is so responsible for any of the 5 functions. The sequence of the elements should be the same as the sequence of processing information. So, we see that first something has to catch our attention and create an interest in pursuing the message. Further, a desire is created to know more and get information. The details about the brand convince the target audience to take action. The action can be in terms of buying or a change in opinion or attitude or an inquiry about the brand or remembering the brand for the future. So, we use some visuals or an interesting font or color or a catchy headline or mystery or even unusual sounds to catch the attention of the target audience. Once this is done, then the further curiosity of interest is created with a visual or a sub-headline or a question which requires some more information or knowledge to get comprehended. This interest created now leads to the next step, a desire for more information or details or a desire to know more. This gets fulfilled by the body copy or the detailed explanations in a print ad or the demonstration in a TVC or any details given in the other ads. This could also include pictures or illustrations showing the details of a product like the features or interiors of a car, or tables giving features or statistics, etc. The actual facts and details fulfill the desire for information, and this leads to conviction. Conviction in terms of whether the brand or product is suited for the target audience or not. Either option is a kind of conviction. What also contributes to creating conviction is the company name and logo, the sponsors or the parent brand, any kind of certification like ISO or Woolmark, etc., any kind of recognition, recommendation or award which the brand has got. The net result of all this is the response of the target audience or the action of the target audience. This action can be in terms of inquiring further about the brand at a shop or outlet, or just keeping the brand in the memory for a decision in the future. The first element of the ad that is meant for this is the tagline, slogan, baseline, signature tune of the brand. Open happiness, connecting people, or sense and simplicity are the most remembered brand lines and brands also. Along with this, we give the company name, address of shops or outlets, that is the dealer panel. Contact numbers or inquiry methods like helplines or SMSs, or toll-free numbers or email addresses. All these are parts of an ad that will result in the action part from the target audience. Television or radio ads are meant more for conviction or for reminder and reinforcement of memory, so have those elements accordingly. Print ads have more details and information for desire and conviction. Outdoors for recall and memory, the action, so the logo is big and the contact information is given importance. For the digital media, the design is done on the basis of which feature is to be used, either like a print ad or like a TVC. The latest formats of ads like infomercials and advertorials and long format ads are all working on the conviction stage of the process. These formats help in convincing the target audience as they create the suitable impact through the way they are presented. The seriousness and the credibility establishes this conviction. Another aspect of the creation and design of the ad is matching the design of the ad with the various media to be used for communication. So, for the print, the ad would contain more details and information, as this medium is read with a lot of interest and attention, and the message is kept as record for future reference. And also, since the written word has a permanency, we depend on such messages for information, facts and numbers or statistics. For electronic media, the ad would be more visual and demo based, and jingles, songs, familiar celebrity faces can be used since these media have the visual and sound as its strength and short span of attention of the viewer as its weakness. For out of home, that is OOH, the message has to be simple and bold in its design since it's a fleeting glance that the viewer gives to it. The new media has the feature of both the print and the electronic, so the design of the messages is done keeping this in mind. According to the newly proposed double helix model or an advertising spiral, advertising is non-linear and achieves its effect over time within limited parameters of medium and message. The model points out that the time span over which media and message interactions occur is an important variable in the advertising environment. According to this model, the exposure to the advertising may result in attention, sometimes in interest, desire or action, but not in a linear sequence as AIDA, that is AIDA. The helix structure is a useful metaphor for understanding brands, with one strand forming the physical and functional virtues and the other strand forming the emotional values of a brand. Ad effects are presented in this model as part of a continuous process rather than a series of steps oriented towards an end game of purchase or adoption. This model suggests that one ad, one exposure, even a single campaign cannot communicate the signals attached to the brands to create perceptions of values for the brand. Over time, the message gets related to the media and the media vice versa gets related to the message. They influence each other and work on the mind of the people. For example, a brand that will advertise in the well-known news magazines will acquire a good image because of the magazine. Over time, the magazine also gets a superior image because of the good brands that advertise in it. For creating the emotional and physical link with the brand, we also use a lot of sales promotion methods also. Any kind of incentives like discounts and freebies, events and functions, samples and trials all contribute to this attachment and connect with the brand, and in the long term achieve the result of perceiving the required image of the brand. These concepts will be studied further under Integrated Marketing Communication, that is IMC. Now we look at creative strategy for the making of an advertisement. This is to do with the content, design and presentation of the message. This in totality completes the creative or message strategy for the advertisement of any kind. After knowing how the advertising works on the human mind, we now learn how to plan out the creative strategy, or how the creativity in advertising is strategized and implemented. The content design and presentation of the message depends on the way the communication works. Going ahead on this, we now look at how the advertising is planned in terms of content and design. Under content, we have two choices of approach. Rational approaches are based on facts and figures. By telling the features and attributes of the brand or product, we are able to convince the target audience. The approach could be inoculative or refutational or comparative. Inoculative approach is when a message is designed to strengthen the beliefs of the consumer and fight any attack by the competitors. You build an immunity to any objections or competitive messages or assault. Brands that accept that they are more expensive than others, but it makes better sense to use this brand, is one such example of the inoculative approach. Refutational approach is where claims made by competitors are directly refuted or contested. It's like an open attack on the assertions made by the others. The idea is to fight back or disprove the competitor. Comparative approach is where a comparison is made on price or features or performance, and the superiority of your own brand is proved. We have numerous examples of brands of detergents comparing on price or cleanliness factor. Cars compare themselves with other cars by drawing a table of features and then tick marking the ones available with them and not with others. Brands also compare themselves with others on the basis of nutrients or content or effect. Importantly, in some messages, the competition is openly named and in others it is only implied. This depends on the kind of information and the supporting proofs available. This, of course, is discussed in detail under the legal issues of advertising. Emotional approaches, as the name suggests, deal with delivering the message on the basis of touching some emotion of the target audience. Humor, which we see in many ads of adhesive or mouth fresheners or cold drinks. Funny situations are shown which make the recall of the brand easy. Fear, which is seen in ads for life insurance, toothpaste, fairness creams and mosquito repellents. An important thing to remember is that fear is not in terms of horror only, but more in terms of what would be the bad or negative effects of not doing or using something. Romance as an emotion is easy to understand. Ads use it so often, showing this aspect of life in messages for jewelry, diamonds, soaps and paints. The mood created works wonders for the brand and its usage and recall. Family and affection, especially that of children, is another emotion seen quite often in ads of today. Love and affection of the family members and how the brand is part of it is shown in the ads for snacks, cold drinks, loans and investments, and also household goods. The impact of the message is through these emotions. How these approaches are to be communicated is the next step of the message strategy. This is what is referred to as the advertising appeal. The method used to convey the message or the presentation of the communication is the advertising appeal. Kinds of advertising appeals: to use a celebrity or to use a jingle or song or to show a real life situation are some examples of the kind of appeals used. Following is a list of the kinds of appeals seen in ads. Storyline is where a story is created and the brand is a part of it. How chocolates can be used for occasions, or how life can change with 4G or fast streaming of videos and data. Problem solution is where a problem is posed and then the brand gives the solution or is the solution for it. An example of this would be where the dentist says that even she had a problem with hot and cold foods till she found this toothpaste for sensitive teeth. Chronology is the method of giving a story over time, like what used to happen earlier and now what happens, or relating it to the history of the times. Heroes use this method to show that the formula is very similar to what our grandmothers used to recommend. Special effects and fantasy deals with all kinds of imaginary characters, computer graphics, music and animation. An apt example here is of a brand of biscuits showing the world of children made up of things to eat. The river is of cream, the sun is made of butter and jam. All kind of animated characters are also part of this kind of appeal. Also, ads using characters from fairy tales, comics or mythology like Batman, Hanuman or fairies, etc. are good examples. Testimonial could be from a user or a beneficiary. The good effects or the positives are highlighted and first-hand information is obtained. Shampoos and stain removers use this kind of an appeal. Spokesperson or personality is the appeal where a person is used to represent the brand. It could be a celebrity or any other representative of the brand, and this person becomes the face of the brand. Sports stars, film stars, experts and reps of brands are used in this kind of an appeal. Satire or spoof is another interesting appeal. Here, fun is made of some concept or some brand and the message is conveyed. Ads using the familiar voices of known personalities or making fun of the system come under this category. Demonstration, as the name suggests, is to show the working or the performance of the product. How it functions or how it is to be used or how effective it is are all the kind of ads that come under this category. Ads that show how detergent works or how much of dishwashing liquid to use or how an appliance works are good examples of this kind. Suspense can be in many ways. One is to make an incomplete message and continue it later. This is what is called a teaser ad, where the communication is in parts and everything about the brand is not revealed initially. It is usually done when some new feature or brand is to be launched. There is a mystery to it so that people's interest is maintained. The other kind of suspense is where in the ad itself some activities are shown which is not understood initially, so people get interested to follow the message. Ads showing numerous people jogging and one wonders what they are up to. Finally, we get to know that it's for a mobile service. Thousands of different colored balls falling all over, it's an ad for a LCD television. Slice of life is the appeal where a true to life situation is taken and the brand fits into it. It could be a problem solution type of a situation, or like insurance companies show families making plans for the future, or even ads showing festivals and marriages and the rituals being followed, all showing some real happenings from daily life. Analogy is where a parallel is drawn between the brand, its usage and an example from real life. Pain reliever ointments compare the body and its part to a machine or people, and their personalities are compared to multigrain food, or at times the dry skin is shown looking very similar to parched land. Another kind of analogy is where some microscopic parts are shown in an enlarged diagram and a demo of how the cream or maybe a washing powder works is seen. The pores of the skin are shown, or bacteria are shown, or maybe the weave of the cloth is seen in detail, and then the action is visible. An interesting example here is of an ad for chips that are very spicy, and how a flying kiss sent after eating the chips sets the shirt pocket on fire, showing how it can set things on fire. Sex appeal is another method used to make an impact on people. The excitement and sensation it creates even for products not related is unparalleled. So be it deodorants or cars, even cement, they all like to use this to create an impact and recall. In today's world of advertising, it is important to discuss another aspect which is related to the presentation of the message, and that is the use of celebrities in advertising. A film star or a sports star or any other famous personality like a chef or a beautician are seen endorsing brands, recommending them, and even talking of their own experience with the product or brand and appreciating it. Why so much of importance is given to them, and why do so many companies like to have them associated with the brand? In today's market and environment, there are a huge number of brands of any product. Go to buy a car or a detergent and you have at least 10 to 12 options available in your price range and requirement. Choices are difficult and the variety boggles your mind. In this scenario, the first thing for the brand to achieve is that it should get recalled or should be one of the first few to be remembered. That is TOMA, top of mind awareness. Only then does it have a chance to get selected. In the clutter and onslaught of ads of so many brands, it's a celebrity or a popular familiar face that will create a difference among so many. It definitely makes the ad and the brand stand out in the crowd. Also, celebrities have that inbuilt power to catch the attention and create the sensation that makes the consumer or the viewer of the ad refer to them or look up at them. They have what we call referent power, and for the viewer, it's that fascination and attraction to a celebrity. Also, a lot of celebrities are considered credible and dependable, so what they say and recommend has a lot of believability. This aspect is useful to brands, especially when they run into crisis or controversy. The credibility and image of the celeb helps in the brand recovering from a setback. In some cases, they are considered to be knowledgeable on that subject, so they are able to influence people. This is what we call expert power. And in a few cases, the celebrity becomes the obvious or the right person to comment, like an actual user, or because of personal experience. This is what we call legitimate power. So all in all, celebrities do serve an important purpose in advertising and communication and make a difference to the presentation of the message. In today's session, we have learned about the creation of an ad and what all is kept in mind in doing this. The design, the content, the approach and the message and its presentation are all part of this task. This quote from David Ogilvy would be a good way to sum up what we have learned here. I do not regard advertising as entertainment or an art form, but as a medium of information. When I write an advertisement, I don't want you to tell me that you find it creative. I want you to find it so interesting that you buy the product. That is all for today. Hope you enjoyed and found it useful. Goodbye.